Welcome to day 2 of our challenge, and today is all about making a window card, and this is a card that has a window that goes through. We're going to easily make this, so follow along so that you can complete this part of the challenge. We're going to make a card that is 5 by 5, so I'm going to bring in a square, and I am going to unlock it. The width will be 10, the height will be 5. I'm going to lock it in place, and I'm just going to move it over to the center here for a second. I'm going to change the color so that we can see what we're doing here. Great. I need to have a score line down the middle. I'm going to grab a shape, grab a score line, make it 5 inches tall, highlight both of these and go to align and then center. And then I'm simply going to group those, and we will just set it aside for a moment. Now we're going to create our window frames that is going to go inside here, and we're going to make a window frame. So once again, we need another square, and I'm just going to judge it by just pulling it down to about what I want. I'm not too sure if I want it perfectly square this way, so I am going to unlock it. Maybe I make it a taller window. Now I'm going to give you the dimensions here. This one says 2.6. Now I'm going to make this 2.75. And for the one coming across, I am going to make it 3.5. So that is 2.75 and 3.5. That is going to be what we are going to use for our window frame. I'm just going to bring it over here. Move this out of the way so that we can see what we're going to be working with here. I'm just going to change the color, make it a nice light yellow so it's just easier to work with. So now what I want to do is I want to duplicate this, and I'm just going to shrink it down a bit and have it so it fits in here. We know that this particular square is 3.5, so half of them make this about 1.5. And that should be good enough to fit a few of those. Now I'm not going to worry too much about how it fits right at this point. I'm going to change the color to a darker color just so we can see it. What I want to do now is duplicate it. And I want to put them fairly close together. Now I'm thinking that, that'll be enough of a frame. So I'm going to grab this one and shift click with this one. We are going to align it to the top. That looks really good. Right now I'm just going to group it and duplicate it and bring it down here at the bottom. Now because they're a group, I can take the both together here. And what I want to do is make sure they are aligned to the left. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab this one and this one. And this is an important step. I am going to weld them together. And the reason I'm going to weld them is they become one piece and it's easier to center. I'm going to grab both of these pieces together. I'm going to align them to the center. That looks absolutely perfect. Grab it together, let's slice it, and there we have the frame that we're going to be working with. Now let's just grab this over here. What we want to do now is cut our window out, so I'm just going to take one of these and just place it the way we want it, because you can add other decorations. Now let's just center it up and down. Let's grab this and align it, and up and down of course is vertical. That looks pretty good. I think the edges are okay here, so let's just grab these two things. Just remember, we don't want the score line, so I'm going to turn it off here in the layers panel, and just make sure we grab both of those, and I'm going to slice it. Perfect. Let me just grab our windows out of there. I'm going to turn the score line back on, grab that score line, arrange it, bring it to the front. All right, let's attach all of this together. Now we have our window. Now we already have our frame cut out, and it looks like we need to bring it to the front. So let's go arrange, bring to front, and this will be cut out separately, and you'll be able to paste it, or simply use a vinyl or some other material to create it. So there's our window frame on the outside. Now the one thing we are missing is when you fold the card, you want something that you can see through. Now I'm going to use this as a model for placement of any shapes that we want. If you want to take a look at a couple of shapes, we can add some hearts, for example. It's just going to take a second or two. Now that we have a heart, the reason I wanted these here is so that we can start placing them so that they will show through the window. Let me just change this to a nice red heart. And what I will do is I will duplicate these a few times just to get a nice little decoration that will go in behind. And that way when you paste them in, it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to make sure that these little decorations are going to show through the window. Let's just grab a few here. Just do a click, shift click, and duplicate that one. Move this part, have one here, have another one here, and maybe just grab another one of these. I'm just doing this quickly. You can use any decoration you want. It could be a photo, could be another image, it could be something else. It doesn't have to be hearts. But it's just to give you an idea that you want to be able to do these so that you can see them through the window. Great, that's perfect. I'm just going to move the frame out of the way. I'm just going to grab these and I'm going to weld them together, because now when I place it on the card on the inside, let me arrange and send this to the back, you're going to be able to see the hearts through it. And that's all there is to doing your window card. So once you've got your project done, make sure that you make it, take a photo of it, and then place it into the Facebook group. So this is day 2 of our 3-day challenge. Tomorrow we are going to work on gift tags.